disappointed. So I called my mom. So when I landed at Manchester Airport, right, the first email I saw was, trust me, my supervisor even pitied me at some point because she knew I was struggling. I changed it. I got the chance to travel to Thailand on an touring. So I was awarded the Dean's Prize for Impact and Innovation for high scoring master's dissertation.
Hello people, you are welcome to my channel Estwile with Pascal. And then I your first time, Mr. Say subscribe, comment, share. Most importantly, the notification button. Make sure you keep it on for exciting content like this. Today I sit with a good friend of mine, Mr. Carl, an Estwile president of the Ghanaian Student Union here at the University of Bradford. He has got an incredible story to share. A young man who began his life from Ghana. And at some point in life decided to satisfy his curiosity and then move to the UK. Carl, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get to know you. Who is Carl?
I mean, you rightly mentioned my name. Very affable, quiet, and I'm a very simple guy who always want to get things done. So.
Okay, take me through your educational background. How the journey started, where it started from Ghana up to this point.
Okay, so I had my childhood education. I'm not Ghana in Rotary Redemption Home Preparatory School. Then, my parents were actually, they have this, the nature of their job, a lot of transfer and all that. So I joined my parents in Takrady when I had my basic education at Bethel Methodist Junior High School. Then I proceeded to Agri Memorial in Cape Coast. Then after Agri Memorial, I went to University of Cape Coast to study Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Geography. Okay,
you said your both parents were just moving from cities to cities. What kind of job were they doing, if you don't mind sharing with me?
So my dad is a senior police officer.
Okay, that's fine.
The district commander for Sicily, also district police headquarters.
Now?
Yes, currently.
That's great.
My mom is senior fire officer in charge of rural fire at the Ajay Kotoku district headquarters.
Okay. Now, walk me through the life of a young man who is a son to people in the security service. Of course, for those of us outside, we feel like it's a tussle living with them. Tussle not as in you being at war with them or something, because they have seen it through all the levels of discipline and then education. So if you happen to be their son, did you have that freedom to just move around? Or
barracks life is actually fun. I mean, I believe every barracks would actually agree with me. And if you happen to whether you live in a bungalow where your mother happens to be an officer, or you live in a full bar, many rooms, you tend to have a lot of uncles and aunties. Definitely. Every neighbor has an uncle, and they actually give you that experience, that feel where you get to excel. So there's a lot of freedom that comes with living in the barracks, but then the barracks freedom comes with the responsibility.
Definitely.
You need to be responsible because you cannot go and mess up and expect the barracks to take care of you. So definitely. So it comes with a lot of discipline as well. And one funny thing about the barracks is when you mess up and your parents don't see, the next parent can discipline you. Your parent will appreciate them for disciplining you. Right? So yeah. I mean, that is what makes.
So you always be careful what you do.
I mean, there's that freedom, but it put you in a space where you need to be responsible.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. Let me also find out this from you. Now, how was it after your university education, after national service, and life after that? Take me through that.
After national service, I got the opportunity to work on the Posh USA project. Yeah. Indeed, as a field officer. So I was a field officer for CityConnect. Right. So what we were doing, we were extending HIV services to key population.
Yeah, that's a great project.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a fantastic project. It exposed me to so many things. I think that project actually built my emotional intelligence as well. Right. So one thing that I can take from that project is when you need to apply emotions, you apply emotions. Yeah. When you need to apply logic, you apply logic. So you don't match logic with emotion. So I moved from that project. So I think within that period, COVID came in. I stayed there for like about 2 or 3 years. So COVID came in and lockdown. So after COVID, I moved to Accra and I joined Environment 360.
There's this huge transition from Ghana to the UK. How did the dream come about?
So what happened was, aside all the things that I was doing, I still had a dream to join the military because that has always been a childhood dream. So I explored the military a lot of times. It just didn't work. I think about 3 or 4 times. Yeah, it just didn't work. So my grandmother, Madam Magunas Fela,
Okay.
she has a friend whose daughter attended University of Bradford actually.
Okay.
So I think I was there one evening when she called and said, hey, you are growing. You cannot be here and thinking about the military all the time. Susan went to University of Bradford and she's doing well. So why don't you look at that angle as well? Initially, I didn't give her the attention until I think my mom also mentioned it. I was like, okay, fine. If you two want to actually put your heads together. So I put in an application just to make them feel okay to University of Bradford, to some schools in UK as well. So I got the offer from University of Bradford. And I think one thing that actually triggered my curiosity to explore traveling outside was when University of Bradford, when the offer came, they gave me £5,000.
Yeah, that was that partial scholarship that normally comes with it.
Yes. When you get into the system, it's a discount. But then I saw it as a scholarship. So I thought, oh, actually, I've done something marvelous. So they're giving me a scholarship. Probably maybe my application was that strong.
Of course, you should be happy.
Right, yeah. So I showed it to my grandma, I showed it to my mom, and they were equally impressed. So that is how the journey started.
Okay, perfect. Now I'm beginning to understand some realities here. Now, here you are at the University of Bradford, a new environment, new culture, new people, everything is new. How was your adaptation?
Automatically, it wouldn't be easy moving into a new environment actually even envisioned of being before.
Yeah.
And it even makes it much more difficult when you're alone. You're not coming with your mother and your father or your family members, you're coming on your own. So, so when I came in, it will amaze you to know that my first culture shock was when I landed in Bradford, when at 9 a.m. the atmosphere was still dark.
What is this? Something you are not used to.
And we used to watch movies and when people are talking,
yeah.
The moment I stepped out from the inside, I saw what? So that was more like my first culture shock that hit me. Yeah, so surviving in the UK hasn't been easy, but it's been good. I wouldn't lie, because all those challenges actually built us, or they've actually built me to be who I am, and they've actually brought me who I am today. There's a saying that if you want something, you need to look at those who have had it.
Yeah.
So this is what I did. Before coming, I explored people in my field, right? People who have studied the program, who have studied something similar in the same context. And I spoke with them and asked them, how did you do it? These people, they've excelled in their area of study as well. So I asked, how did you do it? And I think I got a few clues. And I also made friends with those who came, a semester before. So that is how I was able to adapt and blend into this system.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can be grateful to those who were ahead of me, those who supported me, those who actually taught me how I could actually survive in the system.
Yeah. And so let me ask you this. I know for a fact that you took home an award during the graduation ceremony. What award was that?
If you had mentioned that you asked me this question, I would have actually worn my food without.
No, that's fine. I need to know. The viewers need to know.
Yeah. So, So you're very right. So I was awarded the Dean's Prize for Impact and Innovation for high scoring master's dissertation. So that award is actually given to a student in the Faculty of Management, Law, and Social Sciences. So the student that gets the highest dissertation gets that award from the faculty.
Okay. You know what? I'm curious to know the kind of topic you considered, because the topic will decide the effort you put in, which eventually gave you that honor. So can you share that with me?
So my topic was assessing the impact of plastic waste management project
Okay.
on coastal livelihood, a case study of Osu.
Okay. Brilliant. So now take me through how the whole thing happened from the very beginning of your dissertation. Just walk me through.
So the dissertation period was one of my, like, it was a period that really tested my mental health.
Okay.
Right, because in my second semester, I worked as a research assistant for Professor Neuro
Okay.
from the School of Management, right? And I was fortunate to have actually been exposed to some topics that the School of Management actually,
Yeah.
will be interested in. So I chose a topic. So my first topic was the understanding.
Okay, so wait. You just said your first topic. So are you telling me that you considered a topic and later dropped it and then settled on, I don't know the number of topics you considered anyway, but because you said my first topic.
Yes.
Because I know for a fact that once you begin to put in your research proposal, you should have settled on the kind of topic you're going to work on your project. So if you say your first topic, what do you mean by that?
So I got to understand this when I started doing my actual, that they say that your research proposal does not end up being like, or the topic that you choose that
definitely sure.
So I picked the topic that centered around School of Management because I'd been exposed to some of the topics that they were interested in as a school or as a body. So the first topic was looking at how government assess bigger grant to run a project, and they don't see to the succession of the project become a white elephant. So unknowingly for me, that topic was quite deeper. It was more like a PhD topic.
Okay.
And when I was struggling to the extent that I had to book an appointment with my subject librarian. And he also tried, and I mean, a whole subject librarian, he tried to explore, and I think the things we're looking at were quite different. So I think 3 weeks was it? I think 2 weeks to the dissertation.
Yeah.
I changed it.
How many weeks to the final date of submission?
2 weeks to dissertation, I changed it.
You changed it?
Yes.
So how was it? I mean, to do that, you should put up convincing points to your supervisor to convince her enough for her to believe that within that space you can finish it.
Trust me, my supervisor even pitied me at some point because she knew I was struggling.
Yeah.
First topic.
Okay, so she was happy when you decided to change it.
So I remember when I sent her, I said, good, if you can get information on that one, go for this one.
Perfect. She was very supportive.
Yes, very supportive. I mean,
I can just imagine.
She was very supportive, and so I changed it, and because my first proposal or my first topic was to talking about a project, all I needed to do was to now focus on plastic waste management project on coastal livelihood. So it wasn't that difficult refining my teacher review to fit into my new space. I mean, because plastic waste management was more like a comfort zone. I mean, if I'm sleeping and you wake me up and you ask me to talk about plastic waste management, I bet you I can tell you a lot. Even the scientific concept of plastic waste itself. Yeah. So I took my time, worked on it, and I submitted it, I think, 2 hours before submission.
Okay. So now, at what point did you know that the last minute change of mind was a golden decision you took? I mean, prior to the award, I'm sure you'll be notified along the line that Mr. Carr, this is what awaits you. At what point? And how was the feeling?
So, what happens when you put in your dissertation, like your final dissertation?
Yeah.
You finally see that the deadline has elapsed, and you cannot do anything about it again. And at that point, you start thinking about after school, what next?
What next? Definitely.
Yeah. So there are responsibilities where you now have to look for money to pay for graduate visa, or you're thinking of maybe getting an opportunity to get a job that could sponsor you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after putting in my work, I didn't think about it again because there's nothing I could do at this point. Fair enough. So I think there was a day, one afternoon, I was just there when I got my result. I saw my marks. Because I wasn't expecting that mark.
Yeah.
So then I was very excited. So I called my mom, and my mom started singing, and I was quite excited. So I kept it. I mean, I spoke a few friends called. What did you get? Then I'll say it. I got this and all that. So I mean, I wasn't bothered much because I was still looking for. So I think I got the chance to travel to Thailand on an touring scheme.
Okay.
So when I was on my way back from Thailand,
Was that a funded one?
yes, it was funded by the school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So it was a 1 month law program that I went to do in Thailand, NIDA, National Institute of Development Administration,
Okay.
at Bangkok. So when I landed at Manchester Airport, the first email I saw was with a dear, how do we are excited to. It's like, whoa. I wasn't expecting it literally, so it was kind of a surprise, more like a welcome news. So I called my mom as well again, told my mom, told my dad, and they were all excited. So that is how I got the news when I got it.
Brilliant. I think that moment is a moment that is going to remain with you forever. Now, before graduation, there was a vibrant association on campus. I mean, at the University of Bradford, which had made the headlines. The Ghana Student Union. Okay, and apparently you became the president. As what went behind the scene, I had no idea. When we came in, I mean myself and you, when we came in January 2023, there was nothing like Ghanaian Student Union at the University of Bradford. But before we left, the union became a newborn of the university, where the university gave a full recognition of that. Now tell me what really happened with the formation of that, the role you played, and then where you led the association or the union as the president.
This is the story, right? So when we came in, right, there wasn't any Ghanaian society.
Yeah.
And when we came in, it was very difficult to have to
Some
even know
basic
who's a Ghanaian.
informations connect to people.
Yes,
Right.
and even know who is a Ghanaian. Our fresher fair, we attended the fresher fair with Amanda and Richmond from Pong. So we went there. We saw so many stalls of societies and all that. We saw Nigerian. We saw
Pakistan.
Indian society,
Kenya.
Western Ability Society as well. So I remember I approached one of the executives, one of the sabbatical officers, and said, "Why don't you have a Ghanaian society?" And he said, "I didn't know what. Yes, we don't have it, but if you are interested to start it, you can." But then I wasn't much interested. But I told them that maybe we could actually think about something. So September, when we're having a new set, right? Then I was a student ambassador. I was a welcome week student ambassador, actually, the only Ghanaian. And it was more like during that time, because of my association with a lot of people, I was literally the only Ghanaian doing so many stuff and all that. Yeah. So we're doing airport pickup. Yeah. So anytime my colleagues pick up a Ghanaian, it's we know a Ghanaian, we work with a Ghanaian, so they'll just give my contact and they'll reach out to me. And whenever you come to a new place like this, you need help. So once they give it to them, once they settle, they call me. So I was also doing enrollment as well, and so they take my contacts there and there. So I was like, okay, fine. Then if that's the case, why don't I put them together so I can give them the same information that I'll give to everybody? I brought them together in one WhatsApp group, including my batch, those who came in September. So we're giving them the information, we're telling them what to do, we're making life easier because that is what we needed to do. That is what societies do. So I used that opportunity and I put together a program, the charter and everything, and the society was approved. So we're giving a stall during the September Fresher Fair. So that's where we adored the society, the new student. We got our patrons, Professor Nero, Dr. Joseph Dankwa, Dr. Kuku Adams, Dr. Boachi Buampon, Dr. Benedetto and Dr. Samokusi. We brought all of them together, and this is what they equally wanted because, you notice every country had their representation. So that is what they also wanted because the lecturers here are very supportive that they don't mind whichever time they need to. Yes, they supported, and we did quite a lot. And the school was quite impressed because we're winning competitions. One of the notable competitions that we won was the Ghana Nigeria Jollof competition, where we wanted to silence it. We wanted to actually bring.
We killed them. I mean, I'm not sure they're going to try again.
Yeah, so we won that competition. We won other competitions as well. And in the space of 7 months, the Ghanaian Society was adjudged the best new society
on campus.
Yes, at University of Bradford.
Yeah.
The UBU awards, UB's awards, and all that. Yeah. So right after that, we needed, because we are about to leave, so we needed to transition. So we had to quickly work around it. We got new executives, and now we have new executives actually running them. They are doing quite an amazing job as well.
Okay. Now,
the society makes it much more easier because when you encounter a problem, the first contact you need to reach out is the society, because the society makes it easy for them for you to get solutions to your problems.
You are not the president anymore, but something you started is now being continued by amazing people. Who is the current president, Manu Fuafu?
Yeah, so I mean, I normally don't want to create a narrative that I started, something that we started.
Something we started, yeah.
I love that we can own it and say that we started.
That makes sense. I understand.
Yeah, so,
yes.
I mean, yeah. So the current president is Ivy.
Yeah. With her supportive executive.
Yes, supportive executive.
Away from that, Bradford 2025. I know that you are an ambassador. Now tell me your role. A quick one. In the last video I did was basically talking about Bradford being the city of culture for the year 2025. And after school, this is where you find yourself being ambassador for such an amazing project happening in the year 2025.
So I'm not an ambassador. I'm the program officer for the volunteer program for Bradford 2025 City of Culture.
Okay. So basically, what is your core mandate?
My role as a volunteer program officer, on the volunteer program, is to make sure the deployment, the volunteer management, the database management, everything that has to do with the volunteers and the project.
Yeah.
That is what I do.
That's amazing. Now, what next? After your master's here in the UK, fully committed to Bradford 2025. Now, what next? What is the future for Mr. Carl?
When you ask me what next, what I'll say is to the top. I mean,
definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. But just want to know, just want to be curious about what you intend doing. I mean, some have their journey direct into academia, and once they start, they don't finish until they get things done.
Okay. So I mean, this is what I can say. Maybe the next time we sit in a chair like this, maybe you'll be interviewing the first Black Vice Chancellor of University of Bradford.
That's great,
Yes,
and that has to do with a lot of hard work.
Definitely, I mean, hard work and smart work as well.
Okay, so before I take leave of you, are you open to collaboration with other researchers around the world? Because the feet you chopped, meaning that in terms of research and everything, is something that you love doing. If people watching both far and near intend to get in touch with you, how ready are you?
So I am very passionate about research. So everything research is something that I want to take part in.
Yeah.
Especially in the field of sustainability, project management. So research that actually tries to draw new theories or new ways of doing things with regards to project management is something that I'm very much interested in. In the space of business as well, right? So what I'm doing at the moment is freelancely. I mean, I work freelance as a research assistant for one of the two lecturers, one in University of Bradford and the other in University of Boston, where we are trying to draw theoretical frameworks. So what we are doing is we're actually using the other concept, right? We are bringing in other theories into everyday activities, right? So because the whole idea is before a problem can be solved, we need to research, understand the problem.
Sure.
And you can only understand the problem through research, right? So basically, I am very much interested. I am very much ready to collaborate with anybody that wants to actually do a research. Currently, I'm also working with another colleague from University of Michigan State Technology University, where we are looking at a paper on how traditional leadership can be harnessed to achieve sustainability as well.
Okay, that's brilliant. So now, before I take leave of you, your final words.
one thing I want to share with people out there is it is very possible. I'm not campaigning for anybody. But
Yeah.
it is actually very possible.
Yeah.
No matter how tall the wall is, no matter how big the wall is, if you decide to break it, you can break it with your mindset. And so sometimes don't stay too long trying to. I mean, they say perfection comes from one side, and one thing I also want to say is your comfort zone can be where you can start from.
Definitely.
So once you master how to excel in your comfort zone, you can go out there. So all I want to say is that keep moving, keep going, and don't stop. Just listen to yourself. Use yourself as a yardstick, and always compete with yourself every day, not other people.
Yeah. Carl, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
The pleasure is
Old
mine.
boy is proud of you.
Thank you.
Mommy is proud of you, and Granny is also proud of you. The one who told you to
Thank
just
you.
make
Thank
a
you.
move to the UK.
Thank you. Thank you.